Oopsie. Alright, welcome back, my most ethical divine panel. Angels of Love and Light, I welcome you to divinely intervene as needed for my highest good, aka the highest good. I didn't think I was going to do a reading quite so soon. I had other things in mind. And I think at this point in going with the flow, like the planning is more like a compilation of ideations. So it's just kind of like brainstorming, okay, roughly, I'm good with this, I'm good with that. It's kind of doing that decision making of premeditated yes or no's. And then when the moment rolls through that I'm intuitively guided to, like, if I'm in the feels of doing it, I'm just supposed to flow with it. However, it's not supposed to be like, okay, at 4 o'clock I'm going to be doing this, and at 8 o'clock I'm going to be doing that. So, you know, I think life has its own magic that way, so that, you know, things are kind of mysterious in its play. If I'm here and you're here, then that's quite what's meant to be, rather than, how do I say it? I think that's the way it's supposed to be with me in particular at this time. So it's not like Catch Me If You Can, something, something, gingerbread man. It's more like, if you're here, then you're meant to be here. So this is part 1 of shaking off the heebie-jeebies. And I did like less than 5 minutes on my, like, setting up for doing Twitch. Like I said I was going to do, get back on there. It's been about 5 months since I've been on there. And I thought it was longer, but a lot of things had happened in the meanwhile. So now that I'm back at the ranch, I got it set up. I felt out the energies, and I went against my aversions to test whether or not I, you know, just to challenge myself, you know, because sometimes we're too much in our comfort zones. So I did the planning part of feeling out the energies and logistics of setting things up. And even though I was kind of griping through a bit of it, part of it was just doing some housekeeping anyway, reviewing the optics of my presentation without going absolutely overboard on it. So I met halfway on that, and then when I finally got to filming, dude, I was just not feeling it. I put my playlist on shuffle. There's 2 versions of the shuffle on my playlist, and I could have put it on particular stations, but again, I didn't want to micromanage anything. I just wanted to show the intention. And when I finally got down to it, I was not getting down with it. I did not feel it. And I had to figure out, was it that I was worried about how I was being perceived? And it wasn't, because even when I closed my eyes, I was just all up in my head, and I just didn't feel it. And talking about it is very kind of abstract for me in this positioning. Very aloof in that matter, which I'm kind of happy about, because initially when I thought about it and I addressed gosh, why I was not in the mood or in the feels, or just absolutely not feeling it, it got me sad. Because it wasn't about what other people, you know, shaking off what other people might think of me. It's just that I wasn't in the feels of it. And it's not to say that, like, I guess technically speaking, my head was saying like, what's wrong? Like, what's wrong? Like, what's going on with you? So now that I'm a little distant from those feels, this is going to be my part 1. I'm going to take a little break and do whatever it is, like get me a boba or whatever the frick, because I already had a good breakfast, and yesterday I ate a lot. Partially because I accidentally put a different ratio of like rice to whatever main dish I had. So I had to, like, I couldn't put the rice back away, so I wasn't gonna waste any food, so I just ate it all. I ate it all. And so, yeah, I don't want to overdo it today. In fact, before I did it, as a preparatory matter, for the day, I got, let me see here, on the Power of Intentions, I got Feel Abundant, and it says, feeling abundant surpasses the money in your bank account and transcends what others may think of you. Genuinely feeling abundant and successful is possible when you detach yourself from the things you desire and allow them to flow to you and through you. So this actually makes me feel a shiz ton better, because I forgot what it said from this morning. I just knew, okay, feel abundant. I don't have a problem with that. I'm okay with that. I'm good. Especially when the first card that came out was the Nine of Swords in reverse. Like, don't stress. That's what Tecate told me. It's like, whatever you do, don't stress for the day. Seriously. And I was like, can I get a clarifier for that? Because it could mean like a prompt to put more emphasis in certain things. And give me Six of Swords in reverse. And that's like on behalf of my whole divine crew, my divine panel. So it's like, that's absolutely like, chill. Like, seriously, chill, Tina. You're doing great. You're doing fine. Today is all about getting through things, but like in absolute flow. You're not a geyser today, okay? You're not gonna be a dam that inhibits the flow, or even periodically needs to outlet, and therefore there's like a huge, it's basically a massive geyser effect in that release. So Tina, just go with it, and if it's not going, then do something else. But these things are not supposed to be pre-planned. You're supposed to feel it out. So I'll feel a shiz ton better just reviewing that. So on this prefix, the part 1 version of Shaking Out the Heebie-Jeebies on the 9/9 Manifestation Monday portal. On the left side, the recipient side, I have the Hermit card, Dark Night of the Soul. Good, good. And then on the right side, the manifestation side, I have the King of Cups in reverse. Okay. So, how do we want to see this? Because this is kind of an odd pairing for me. Hermit card. Dark Night of the Soul, recipient side. Yeah, so like when I went on Twitch, I got like verification, like, should I do this? Like, seriously, I'm like, I don't know. There's a lot of uncertainty. But then the first card that I got was the Two of Pentacles, which is repetitive and the elaboration of whatever I got before. And then the World card to clarify it. So it's like you have, okay, something fell down there, but okay. You have things in balance. It's all in your hands, okay? So you do as you please, Tina. The void is in your hands. So let's just put in, you know, this is end of discussion is what they're saying, okay? You go at it alone. You're not going to look at the head count. You're not going to look at the chats even. You're just going to go with the flow. And then when I was like, I couldn't feel it. What they're saying is, again, revisiting the void in your recipient, in your inbox, Tina. You can, this is kind of like your personalized Dark Night of the Soul in creating balance in your life. So, I don't know if it's really like doing the shadow work really. I think in society, those standards, there's a lot of rigidity in determining whether you are successful or not in life. And like right now, at this very moment, I can confirm that I don't give a shit as to whether or not people see me as successful or not. I don't think that's anywhere in the crevices of my bucket list. I don't feel the desire to show people that I'm successful. Like, I don't feel an aversion to it, but at the same time, it's just not something I'm interested in. So this Dark Night of the Soul is more about finding any blockages within me. And some of it is like, dude, if you're not feeling the vibe, you're not feeling the vibe. Sometimes a lesson learned in that case is just like, well, you gotta do something else in the flow. You're just going with the flow with of how you feel. When you're starting this new occupation or these new opportunities, before we hand them over to you, before we, dish them out to you, Tina, from the externals, we want you to be able to determine how you want to roll. Again, your reminder. As a reminder, you're both your CEO and your secretary. So you gotta not just roll with the punches, but just know how you want to invest yourself and what works for you, what particularly works for you. And so this is great, and it's like practice, trial, run in determining, because it's like if I were to be given this opportunity or whatever, X amount of dollars, payable upfront or whatever, and I'm there, and I realize there's a certain like the flow is just not there. I just have to look at these things like kind of role play what that would be like. And I don't think it's stage fright. I think it's just a lack of familiarity, and like, Tina, you should only accept jobs and opportunities that you really want to do. And that's what it boils down to. Like, if you're not feeling it, you're not going to feel it even after you get that paycheck. You know what I mean? If you get paid up front, you're not... That's kind of like in your brain. You're too smart for this shiz. So if you're not feeling it up front, then even if you try to sell out, you're not going to feel it afterwards. Like in your head, you've already determined that to be a sellout, taking that opportunity. So, like working with, I guess, Hecate, excuse me, has helped me realize that with more transparency. And I'm just realizing that right now. That it's, when people call you a poser, there's some kind of egoic play involved in, like, kind of disrespect on a public scale. That's usually why people get mostly offended when being called a poser, because there's like a public point of view that's transmitted in that judgment. So like I don't think I have any issues with that part of it. Or even like being called a sellout. I just know, for me in particularly, I know I can't lie to myself on that. And that's what Hecate is trying to kind of convey to me in, you know, just like boiling it down, Tina. This is what it is. And this is your jam, the reduction sauce. So you can't lie to yourself on that. Like, I think this is really, really good, actually. So, again, this is the Dark Night of the Soul. The portrayal of, these things keep, what's going on here? Is it mixed? And what's happened here? Anyway, I totally forgot that upon picking up these, cards, when I pulled the right side, the King of, Cups in reversal had one also fall down onto my phone, my other phone, which was playing the music, and it's still face down along with the one card that also just fell down too. So I'm gonna get the one on the phone, and it says, oh, it's the Queen of Cups. That's crazy. So there's some kind of switcheroo, like you know, when a duck is fishing, like, for fish in a pond, they got their head down or whatever, and it's not just like what I was talking about. Is it staged right? Is it like an ostrich sticking their head in the ground? No, it's not. It's quite functional in its feels. So had it not been for that, I would not come to this realization as a prefix, as a preparatory matter to, you know, what's foreboded, what's actually going to happen. So, you know, there's a reason for everything. So, being objective and knowing the undercurrents, now my head's up. Okay, so now I like, oh, okay, heads up, 7 up, you know, that kind of thing. And then determining like the lay of the land now. So this is wonderful because this is having the oomph, the boost of, it could be Archangel Raphael undercover. It could be some other very intuitive healer undercover. It could be Jesus Christ, like just sitting in the back of the classroom. It could be Spirit and Cash, just like chilling with me, observing, you know, like kind of like seeing a flower ready to kind of blossom. You know, the budding is there and it's just about, you know, so it's kind of witnessing that. And it's not like, okay, verifying, are you on the same page? Are you where you're supposed to be at? This is not kind of like the validation, like audit type of energy. This is higher divine energy, looking at the situation like about to witness something about to happen that is like flourishing. So this is wonderful because this is like a counterpart to my energy, putting my head up like, okay, got my fish, okay, all right, I got a catch, all right, so, you know, I'm here, I'm present. So this is wonderful, shaking off the heebie-jeebies, part 1. Oh, and then I forgot, there's a one underneath the phone, and it is, exactly, Temperance in reverse, talking about the, undercurrents, being able to review that. So this is wonderful. Oh my god, this is freaking crazy to me. Like, what? That's exactly the vibe, my darlings. Okay, so anything else that you want to say? Let me try and count all. Okay, 7 of Pentacles. So this is being patient, just taking your time, you know, this is not like a permission slip to like frick around. This is more, or like an excuse to like avoid responsibilities. This is more like, okay, you're where you need to be at this time, Tina. So as far as like getting to that 9-9 portal, whatever it is, your manifestations, etc., you're already en route. Okay, you're ahead of delivery time. So this is the mode where you really need to be patient and just sort through the process so you don't miss any opportunities that are very much customized internally. Kind of like when you're like going to do a going for a custom fitting, and it's a suit or dress or whatever, the exterior. Before we get to that part, I want to make sure my fittings, let's say for undergarments or whatever, are feeling right. Because if you're frumpy on your undergarments, it's going to show on regardless whether or not you're custom tailored and like the very, very best tailors for your external, you know, representation. So that's this opportunity in taking your time is more like Spirit bought tickets like on a cruise or a, like, I don't know, round trip international vacation type of thing. So it's kind of foreign for me, a little adventurous in its perspectives, but it's always trying to find the similarities in what we call home. So if you visit like internationally, someplace you've never been before, the intention is to I think subconsciously is to find beauty in another place that is like familial to what we already know. And so it's just an expansion of home in creating safe places here, there, whatever. So it's kind of like the reverse version of the Horcrux energy in Harry Potter. So it's like piecing out your home, bringing your home to other places, and also examining like the takeaways of what other people call home. So when you link that up, it's like you're already expanding your experiences, and so definitely that's what it's trying to tell me here. Spirit bought some tickets for me, and it's time to explore that opportunity in just like in relaxed mode. Yeah, because even like it's just deprogramming certain perspectives, and especially the way I see myself as an audience, like how I'm supposed to be seen. Just like I grew up very I told you, conservative and very rigid disciplinary values. So if I am, I don't know, I think it relates to aesthetics. Yeah. So when I realized being accountable and showing yourself as you are, it's looking at oh, is that aesthetically pleasing? It's going beyond that, though that is a singular determinant of those reflections. So when I initially, like as we all are programmed, like visually, like, oh my gosh, like I'm kind of like bulging out or whatnot, I recognized that I had a full-on like meal and I didn't have any ill feelings towards it other than like, oops, I got too much of this. So you know, so aesthetically speaking, I was pretty initially critical of my aesthetics, the optics of me. But again, this is more about accountability. Like, where are you at? How do you feel in your skins, basically? Because I don't feel like it was like you know how they say eat the frog in the morning or something. The first thing you do is eat the frog. Another version of first things first. I don't think it was avoidance of that. I think there were other things that rationalized forgoing that placement at that particular time to secure that regimen, that particular regimen. So, do you feel good with that? Like, you gotta feel good with that. I mean, without looking at my aesthetics, I felt like I felt good. So why should I let anything else tamper with that? Definitely. Again, I'm in a much better place than I was before. Even thinking about last week, or a month ago, or 2 months ago, or 10 months ago. Just when, I gotta say this, when energy has come back into your life, and you're like ill or whatever, or non-feeling, just not interested, nonchalant, like it's irrelevant at this time, which is, I'm starting to feel, what was I going to say about that? Oh gosh, I forgot what I was going to say about that, because it linked to what we just talked about. How you feel about yourself, how you think about yourself. I'm gonna let it go. I'll revisit it. I'm sure it'll link when I'm doing like the what is it, the timestamps and all of that. Anyway, my divine panel, please remind me if it's important to convey that now, or finish that thought. So, let me just try one more time. Feeling. It had, I think, something to do with the relationship of just constant improvement. And so, it's just better identifying with yourself what works and what doesn't. And so when you revisit these energies, or when they revisit you, it's easier, like almost effortless, in making certain decisions. And this is good. I mean, with all this practice and all these hidden opportunities, it says that I'm being prepared for something very substantial, and I'm catching on with what it is that I need to I think practice, because I feel like I've learned it, but there's the other part of learning is not just the hearsay and the receptivity, but integration. So I think that's what that is. Because I have all these fragments, and I'm like, oh God, what do I do with all this? It feels like clutter, but I know all of these are resources. So, you know, just putting them into place. So, okay. Anything else that you want to tell me? I just feel like I'm supposed to pick a card like that. Page of Cups. Oh, So this is an admirer type of energy. With a bear spirit totem. It's kind of like it's a red flag, but as you know, when I do red flag readings, like for the primary, you know, checking energy before I actually read for them, red flags are not always like a negative thing. They're just call outs, kind of like highlighters. I don't know if highlighters is a word for it, but they're call outs. Before I firm up my decision. So, I don't know, what is that? I think it's, okay, so this is an admirer energy. Kind of like making themselves known, like, it's nonverbal communication though. It's, like, what is it? It is nonverbal communication, but it's like a notice that they're coming through. Like they're making it's a strong energy, a strong presence, kind of like you know, the Wild West. Maybe not the same vibe, but it's the pinpointing of attention is very much like that. In the Wild West, when someone walks into the bar and everyone like turns around and sees like who it is. So I would say it's more so like that energy than like the Cinderella walking in and gaining the I guess it could be that, gaining the attention of everyone in the room. But that's more of a sudden energy than like walking into a bar in the Wild West. Because when you walk into the bar in the Wild West, you kind of assume that there's small town behavior on a norm, like very relaxed, just comfortable, maybe keeping up with the Jonases type of behavior in its modern sense. So you're walking into that atmosphere, right? So you assume that, like, whether or not you're trying to call attention to yourself, that it's going to happen. So that's more like this energy than the Cinderella portion, because as Cinderella, you're already like, oh, small town stuff, nobody thinks highly of me, but you know, I want to enjoy myself here. Not even my stepsisters or my stepmother, you know, are you know, recognize me unless like I'm like cowering to them. And even at that, I can't be held up in a particular sense, regardless of, you know, X amount of like work that I do and excel in that. It's always just going to be this way, etc., etc. So with a small town girl walking into this ballroom with like big stuff energy, you would assume people are already kind of immersed in their own stuff. So walking in, you wouldn't feel like you would catch anybody's attention. You're just there to be there and enjoy your stuff, like, oh, this is kind of a magical moment. And so there are two different angles on that. So this is more like Wild West energy and making their way through. It's I want to say almost with theme music, but it's theme music inside their personal head, not audible to anyone else. But that energy is signature in its arrival. So that's that energy in admirer energy. And this is the first time that it's been called attention to the red flag here. Alright, 9-9 Portal, Manifestation Monday. Shaking off the heebie-jeebies, part 1. Anything else that you want to say? I'm going to find panel. Okay. 6 of Pentacles in reverse, 8 of Pentacles in reverse, Queen of Swords in reverse, and Ace of Cups. This is time for you to receive, Tina. Like, this is not having to exchange with the world, like not focusing on the exchange. Like I said, the intention of going on Twitch, I have certain guidelines for myself. I'm not going to focus on the head count nor the chat feature. I may periodically, I don't even think I'm going to periodically look at it. Probably at the very end before I sign off. But like it's not, the investment is not about, like the focus is not about really the interaction per se, but more so like what I need to do. What I need to do to kind of like practice in for myself. So kind of like a ritual, like when we're doing something, how do I say it? Whether it's like in occultist measures or let's say more rigid, like in Catholicism, when you're practicing rituals, like when you're walking in, let's talk about the rigid part, okay? When you're walking into church, there's certain rules of conduct, etiquette, realms of respect. So you meet those standards, right? But then the point of going to church is also about community, but the focus isn't about like, oh, who's here, or like I wonder why they're here because they're a sinner or whatever, or like, can you see, like, I can't believe she's wearing that to church or whatever, you know, like not following the exact, like not scrutinizing all of those measures. So, or like how many people are in the seating, you know, in the pews, or who's singing, who's not. Like, this is about a more intimate, experiential version of what you bring to the table, regardless of what everybody else brings to the table. So that's my intention going on Twitch or TikTok or whatnot. I think more so Twitch, because that's kind of like the vibe that I get over there. So this is, it's time for you to be in receptivity mode. Again, this is more like, how do I say it? Because it's backed by the 8 of Pentacles too. So it's 14 Pentacles, which is a mediation of, or temperance level of Pentacle energy. And that's like hidden, that's like within. So, in receptivity mode and not having to exchange with others, like that's not the focus, but it's the absolute, it's not like a make or break type of rule. It's just a guideline, okay? But backed by the 8 of Pentacles in reverse, it's like you don't need to put in extra work. You don't need to do the most, okay? You're there for a particular intention, which is totally valid. So the Queen of Swords in reverse is kind of saving the energy with all that. Again, being objective to any commentary, any point of views, even if they're favorable on your behalf. This is more about like getting into the zone, the Tina zone. I'm here for you, Tina zone. Because like, seriously, if we're talking about like the head count, a massive head count, like any kind of expansion, you have to realize you have to get out of the game, you know, like the public game, and like into your own zone, into your own lane, and this is how you're gonna play it, okay? So those measures, those measures can vary, but Tina, you gotta really like put yourself kind of to the test. I don't even feel like it's a test though. It's just practice, you know? So this is not a moment to this is not about the exchange there, okay? And so this is the Ace of Cups, which is like a refresher. It's totally intuitive and creative. This is a refreshment after reviewing temperance within the tangibles, within the pentacle energy, earthbound energy. So we're looking at the signs of, I don't know, I, there's Taurus. I forgot. But, you know, like, it's that kind of energy, the tangibles, temperance within the tangibles. And so it's recognizing the mediation that occurs and, like, just holding strong and being kind of straightforward with yourself, Tina. Straightforward with just yourself, okay? And so this is a refreshment provided after the temperance with the tangibles. And so they're saying, what I initially got, why I initially laughed was like, go get yourself a boba, Tina. Go get your, like, seriously, you're gonna be fine. It's all right. And so the bottom of the deck, 8 of Swords in reverse. Again, it's unsticking yourself, Tina. 4 of Swords in reverse. You healed the situation. You've come to that conclusion. So 8 and the 4, we've got 12, which is the Hanged Man energy. Yeah, you were objective in being able to discern this. You killed it with a logic, like just figuring things out, even like without going into like spirituality mode. You know, without, I guess, preaching on that, you were able to decipher things. And sometimes, like, even there's like a lesson within, or findings within findings. So while we were approaching a different subject, another topic that came to play in resolution was like being able to address certain audiences. This demonstrated my ability to reach other audiences that are not so like religiously, spiritually, whatever. They could be atheists, they could be more like scientific in their measures, they could they maybe refrain from that topic and like to work with more of the tangible natures, or what makes sense. If you're going to boil it down, talk to me in my language. So this demonstrated my capability in doing that. 5 of Wands, which creates a bit of envy. Yeah, I feel cramping right here. Cramping in my stomach, like just like in my abs right here. I forgot to tell you that I was being attacked yesterday too, throughout. Like, that's why I have to shake off the heebie-jeebies. I've been getting, like, for the past, like, this whole weekend, I've been told, like, you gotta dance, Tina, you gotta dance, you gotta, like, shake off this energy. And it's not just through simple exercises, which I partially did, but, like, no, you gotta do something that, I don't know if that you're afraid of. I think that you have like an aversion to, like, ugh, I don't wanna do it. I don't feel like doing it, but I wanna do it. So it's kind of like that. It's funny. So it does create a little bit of like competition. Just me saying that with the like a finding within a finding and divulging all of that, it gets people like very competitive, like, dude, I don't even know what the heck. And so Chariot in reverse, so there's kind of like people will just like kind of drop into your energy because they're like, no, I gotta be better than you, or I don't know what the frick, dude. Let's talk about this in a more uplifting measure, not leaning towards toxic positivity, but deriving what we can, the best out of the situation. So, within a fraction of those that try to challenge you, Tina, like, you're not going to micromanage how the divine wants to give you your students, your pupils. So, if lessons need to be learned, sometimes it results in this or that, but you've delivered the lesson. You, like 100%, you've always delivered the lesson. These people who are at the 5 of Wands, like creating conflict or like opposition or want to like challenge you, etc., a fraction of them will actually become part of your riot crew because they have a healthy sense of self and identity, knowing that there's much to learn and expansion is the name of the game. in their experiential view. So, and I'm hearing that's why a lot of people like to dabble in occultism, because it's more of like an adventurous type of take in just discovering the magic in life and enhancing your resources. So, like, part of this like the stopping point, kind of, it's not really like a hindrance to my progress. It's more of like an amplifier, like, you know, those waves, right? So a fraction of them you're going to adopt, I mean, inherit, or not inherit, a fraction of these are going to take to you, and they're going to be part of your right crew, because that's just the way it rolls. And that's the way it's been for like every single job that I've been at. There's a certain percentage of people that have become allies, and not just like supporters, like pat you on the back, like, I agree with you, Tina, right on, let me throw this kudos at you, go long. It's more than that. And it's not about like the theory of like familiarity, like you've been exposed to a certain person, so they just kind of grow on you. For a certain percentage of time that I thought that that's what it was, but no, I've got a lot more substance in me than just like people like me because like I'm now a neighbor, basically, an electronic neighbor. And it's not about, what do you call it, there's a term for it, where you create relationships with periscopal, periscope, I forgot what it's called, but relationships over people like that are in the public, and you know, it's kind of like lopsided, and it's like knowing. But energetically, with my practice, if I can read your energy accurately, that more than the people that you interface with, like, or are blood related to, that says, I don't think that's an imbalance of energetics. I feel like that's I'm legit. So okay, I don't know why I got off on that tangent, but whoops daisy. Okay. So in this this chariot is like riding the waves too. So there's some kind of like undercurrents in which to discover for all parties. You either get washed away, or you kind of like know how to roll with it in its safest manner. So underneath that, there's a Ten of Cups in reverse. So Ten of Cups is always abundant, whether it's upright or in reversal. So that's the bottom of the deck. And now the top of the deck, no secret to my saucies, is Page of Pentacles. So again, driving back, like looking at the summary of this, if we're going to condense it like to a wee little spot right here, the spherical, like, okay, energy, time, like energy buildup. Okay, feeling out the energy. I haven't done this in a while. I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, yes. Okay. Thank you. So it's about the investment. Oh, yeah. Okay. Are you in or are you out? So if you're not feeling it, don't do it, okay? Maybe it's not like an absolute no. Sometimes it's an absolute no when certain opportunities come your way. Like, you know, that's not you. Absolutely no. Oh my god. Should I say it? Hold on. It was so crass. It was so crass. Two of Wands in reverse. No, let's leave it up to the imagination there. Okay, so I'm going to put this and put it upright. What do I do know? Three of Cups in reverse, so it's just celebrations are coming. Okay, I know that. And for now, it's underneath the surface, underground, energetically. I'm good with that. Even ancestors are like, hooray, hurrah. So anyway, are you, and sometimes, so it's kind of like, it's a forever no, like no, no, no. Or it's a situational no, you know? It's not, no, it's not for me right now. No, it doesn't work with my schedule. No, I have competing interests. You know, I have, I'm pre-obligated. It's empowering that no, to enhance the yeses. So, you're in it, Tina, as a reminder for your yes game. So, this is going to help you kind of narrow into that. The vibe of like, are you feeling it or not? So, talking about investments. All right, what are my 3 takeaways? What do you want to say? My divine channel. And King of Pentacles. It's a very industrious, energetic. It's a business person. It's a boss. So I already got the energetic here. It's good. All right. My second takeaway. Oh, it's the Empress. What? That's a super boss, but it's like a gentle touch. This is like kind of like having the Midas touch, and this is having the like this is divine feminine touch. This is like extra TLC. This is a massive healer's touch. Definitely. This is absolutely chill. Like, this is, an Empress gets to go on vacation. And I would definitely say more than once a year. The Empress, is very deserving of quality time, clocked in and clocked out. Definitely. So she has watchers, that are also psychics, like, definitely watchers that are, discreet, like hermit energy before her and behind her. You see? They're holding orbs. That's insane. So again, back to the Two of Pentacles, very much like that. They're in accordance with my strides. Alright, so what is my third takeaway? Shaking off the heebie-jeebies. 7 of Swords in reverse. Again, no BS. You know what I gotta say? I wanted to say Hecate, but I was told, like, I don't know. I was like, maybe it's just in my head. Maybe it's just in my head. But I just realized in learnings recently that Hecate is associated with the number 3. And there's a lot of people say there's very little kind of like published about her. So very mysterious. But definitely I got her help, because this is a qualifier, a verifying energetic, which she told me, like, no bullshit, and again, no bullshit. So this is wonderful. This is wonderful energy. Now back on TikTok, when I first started there, I remember going, like, encountering witch talk in a certain arena, where 666 was also associated with Hecate. So that's what I recall, but in recent, like, YouTube learnings, I didn't see anybody say anything about 666. But again, to each their own. Learnings and studies and relationship with Hecate. So, I mean, 666, I would have to say that is correct, only because if she guided Persephone through the underworld, then she would be linked to supposed devil energy. She would be in link with associations with the darkness, being like kind of neighborly love, I would say, like respect for the environment. Like, here, I'm just here guiding through, almost like walking in alignment with Anubis, you know, helping guide people through those journeys. But this is like a specialized view of Hecate in, like, she's a specialist in being able to not just get from point A to B, like as Anubis would, in particular life-changing events, death associated, whether tangible or not. Hecate would be more like navigation, even orientation to a certain venue. And so I think there are partnerships, because she's known to be very, very fond of dogs, that Anubis being a variation, they're very much like that. So that's my understanding and learnings with Hecate, gosh, in the past few days. And this is, again, like expedited learning that I did not foresee, because I only started like looking up and doing like those studies within the past 2 or 3 days. So I've learned like a shiz ton. Like, at this last job that I was at, dude, they've like been exposed to each other like for years, and they still did not know certain like things that like they should know about each other, you know, like favorites or like nothing. And so I didn't miss out, and also with that I will keep in alignment with my energetics and the intentions of the Great Divine, and say that I am grateful for having the experiences of being able to better identify with myself, and having the opportunity to integrate what's best for me on a day-to-day basis. So definitely I would have to say that. So Hecate, what do you want to say about, you know, what was just relayed on that note with Anubis, and, you know, your yeah, I feel like that's legit, you know, and I don't see why not. Knight of Wands inverted. She said, have confidence in yourself, Tina. Like, I don't, the reason, I think this is just an iteration of it, not that I lack it. I ask for validation only so that it's kind of a learning tool, an expansion of her realm, to give her greater appreciation for what she does, and how otherworldly in her thinking and her being is, rather than just a cookie cutter of doing this or that, dark world, this and that. You know, there's I think there's it's worthwhile to have validation from her source, like straight from the horse's mouth, basically, in kind of expanding what she's about, you know, her character. And she's definitely not somebody to go to just if you need something. There's yeah, I feel like that. I'm gonna get one more card to convey with that. Knight of Swords. She says I'm a quick study on that, so that's definite. I mean, 2 knights, that's a doer energy. So again, even as an Empress, you got to roll up your sleeves and like, I don't know why I'm getting like pretty politician, like whether, especially if you're female and you're in the seat of justice or a certain realm of power, there's no toying with pretty privilege, because, you know, the long run, and as a visionary, looking at the longevity of things, that's just, you would be selling yourself short. Like, if you're just going to isolate it to one, like, primary thing, you're selling yourself short. There's so many other pitfalls to that. So, being the Empress is not always about being comfortable, but, or creating comfortable situations for the community. This is about doing what you know is right and getting things done. And so you're not engaged in the aesthetics of things. What you know to be true, you engage with. So that's what she's saying here. So regardless of how people view her in her relationship, like how she's publicized to be, there's so much more substance to her than what's documented. So if you look at her and just make sense out of, let's say, if you were in her situation, that makes more sense of the reality of things. Yeah, as a guide, as a leading light in very being put in hostile, confusing, frustrating, chaotic type of environments. And so, definitely. All right, I think that's it for now. Thanks very much for all donations provided in and of light and love. I certainly appreciate it when they are reciprocated equally. But now that this reading is officially over, I call back all my energy, essence, gifts, power, strengths, past, from those that generate, call upon, cast, bring, or any variation thereof, ill will, intent, and or entities, to pass through the white light of the Holy Spirit for cleansings and blessings, and then refortification to me, only me, hassle-free, no doubt, and no attachments except for all bonus points included. Thanks so much. Am I feeling good about myself? I think I am, but I don't think I really have to show myself. Do I? This is part 1 of the shaking off of the Jeebies. 10 of Wands. Strength. Huh. Judgment. There's like strong judgment coming through. Not like judgment on the smaller scale of here in this place, but there's strength. Like when I opened this up, it opened up to the 10 of Wands, which is in this particular deck It's a mother holding a baby. So this is basically the empress that just like gave birth, basically, who has a like a who's kind of like protecting and caring for it. Like there's a certain level of massive commitment. Um, so, but in this particular like incentive, the incentive is to care for this energetic, right? Rather than to see it as a burden. So that's what the Ten of Wands is in this particular deck. And right behind it was the Strength card. And so it's like this baby that has grown into like a youngling, basically, and is trying to steer this bear. And it's a demonstration of massive strength, like David and Goliath, but it develops a kinship, like the page that we saw, the Page of Cups. Yeah. So there's a certain fondness that's relayed in that. And then right before that, right before the Ten of Wands, caring for something, it's karma, it's judgment. Excuse me. The Emperor in reverse. The Hierophant and right. This is massive. Okay, so when I cut the deck, it was the Emperor in reverse, and right behind it was the Tower card, and then right before it was the Hierophant card. There's a big decision being made, like a massive decision. I just asked, should I stand up and show myself? And that's crazy. Yeah, you know what? I am going to stand up and Five of Cups and say goodbye. Proper. I'm striving. Right behind at the end. Okay, so that was a triple major arcana right there. And then what I was about to say is I'm gonna stand up and I'm gonna look at this like I'm looking in the mirror and see like where I fall, like how I feel about my energetic, not thinking about what it's going to look like for viewers or like how I might be seen on the outskirts. This is about me like doing my journal entry. How do I feel about myself? Because what I've already conveyed was very substantial, and that should not change. The optics should not change. How do I say it? Yeah, the optics should not alter what it is I've already inputted. So this is a continuation of shaking off the heebie-jeebies, forgetting about what people think about me, and seeing how I feel and about myself, like what I truly think of myself. Like I want to know how, if I'm gonna be like I wanna know. So because this is kind of like fitting room behavior. I remember it being like this when I was like a teenager, and just like very critical of yourself. And so like when you're looking at yourself, are you really looking at yourself, or are you looking at yourself in comparison to another being? So I just want to see what my reaction or response would be to that, like, because it's different when like in your shoes versus like seeing it like, oh, that's how I look looking at myself, you know, like I would know, it would click 100%. Things change over time. It could be from a day-to-day basis. So Five of Cups. This is doing the proper goodbyes, and right before it is the Star card, and right behind it is the World card, which is like the end. So there's definitely being able to move on, because in the expansion of, you know, putting yourself out there, you're like, who could give a shiz about what paparazzi would try to do to make or break you? This is more about like being objective in advance before it even goes there, you know, like whatever's, you know, kind of publicized, how are you gonna deal with that? Like and if, like, sometimes people's jobs are to publicize misrepresentations of yourself, or like not put you in the best light, or whatever, you know. So like, this is a good way for me to kind of keep tabs on myself on a weekly basis, and that's the reason why I was doing bikinis over the weekends, but I missed this weekend. So okay, time to look in the mirror, shake off the heebie-jeebies. I feel like this was right for me, but I don't, you know. Seven of Swords in reverse. Again, no bullshit. That's crazy. I just pulled it out of like the freaking Santa hat of this thing, and that's what it gave me. So, all right. Okay. Oh my god, my knee. Okay. So, the light. Okay, where's my glasses? Okay, Tina. You can see yourself. Oh, dude. I think there's a little too much detail. Maybe that's funny. Where's another light where it's not like focusing on here? Let me turn on the light. Okay, so this is real like fitting room light. Okay. Oh my goodness. I didn't see, sometimes you don't really see your body until like it's actually like, dude, I can't. Okay, I'm kind of scared to turn around on these lights, but let me splash water on my face, seriously. Okay. Where am I put glasses? Okay. 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 I still can't really see myself. Okay. Oh god, it's okay. Oh my god. What? I have so much. Like, it's. What is this light doing for me? Holy smokes! My butt is so big. Hold on. Yeah, no, I gotta be okay with this. I gotta be good with myself, because this is like, I have certain bikinis that are, that show my behind. Like, I don't know, and it's okay. Butt is big. Okay, it's okay. So it's okay. Okay. Hold on. I got it. It's okay. All right. I'm gonna. I don't know. Okay. 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 I can see myself better like that. I don't know why, but I can, and I. Let's get some caffeine in you. All right. I don't know. Okay, it's not as bad as I thought. Maybe it's my glass. Maybe I can see more with my glasses. I don't know. Yeah, I can. I can see a lot of ridges. But, okay, let's say if this were a bikini. I'm pretty good with this. Let me see here. So, I have to put a mirror on the floor so I could see. I mean, yeah, I think I would be okay. I think I would be okay with it. Okay. So, I can't. I think I would, you know, okay. Yeah. I'm good. All right. This is basically what it takes for me to what it takes for me to go to the beach. Seriously, I have to amp myself up, and part of that is putting sunblock on in the car. And so it's just, that's just kind of where I'm at. So looking at things realistically, I think it's getting back into my own skin after being in relationships that where where optics were a thing, but even with that, I didn't quite recognize myself as I truly am. And so in this phase of life, it feels like it's kind of tables have turned. So it's very much like recognizing the optics while better identifying with myself and trying to like bridge the mismatches or gaps, just comprehending all of that. So while this may be like silly a little bit, you know, on the external, it's how I really am. Yeah. So I think it's time for some boba. When I tried to get like a card to amp myself up, in drinking coffee, I got the Sun card in reverse, which is, you know, the spotlight is on. Just like fucking step into it, Tina. And, you know, with about 20 to 30 minutes, of, more like 30-minute drive to going to any beach, it's like the closer you get to like putting yourself out there, really, or like, you know, really seeing yourself, even within the intimacy of like doing the fitting room stuff, as you move closer to it, you're that much more committed. Like, I can't back out now, you know? And in a sense, I can if I wanted to. It's just more like, then you have to restart the process of engagement. And you might as well see where you're at right now. And I'm good. I just didn't realize, like, what I actually look like in different lights. I don't know what, I just remember what my 20-year-old body looked like. I remember what, you know, my 25 and 30-year-old body looked like. But at this age and the past few years, of course I have mirrors in my house. Of course I do. But I don't spend a lot of time there. It's kind of like, okay, is there like functional, more like functional. Do I have any mocos in my eyes? And even that, like, sometimes I miss it. Just like, okay, I'm good. So I think this is an important part of kind of romanticizing being in my body, you know, as I further grow into it. Yeah, I want my body to move along with me in my journey. That's basically what I want to happen. So it shall. That's good. All right, that's it for now. That's it for now. And now that this reading is officially over, let's get closer here. Upon closing the portals in this reading, I send all energies back to their appropriate locations outside of mine, with their appropriate karmas due, assisting with the sequence of roll out and lighten up and close the portals in this reading.